Wake up and win in your business and life. Welcome to the Wake Up Wednesdays podcast with your host, Lucrease Aguzma. Welcome, world changers, to another episode of our podcast. Today, we have the pleasure of having with us Tiffany Marshall of Clear Resource Marketing. Her company specializes in helping women in business organize their systems and create a workflow. They have created an easy-to-follow framework that can help small businesses get more done, save time, and increase their profitability. Listen to our recent conversation about how to create a brand experience through systems for your audience. All right, welcome, Tiffany, to the podcast.
Thank you.
Awesome. And tell, our listeners a little bit more about yourself.
So I am Tiffany Marshall, born and raised in Florida, sunny Florida. Yeah. Our state is getting so much attention for many different reasons right now. But I am excited because I just launched into a new field, or not field, but let's just say industry, right? We rebranded and you are influential in that. And so I had Clear Resource Marketing, where we help female entrepreneurs get more done, save time, and increase their profitability. Yeah. So I went from just doing social media managing, and I was like, okay, female entrepreneurs need much more than just social media management, right?
Right.
I was like, we have to visit what we ignore or what we may not know how to do, because we can all go and post, right? And you can change your strategies. I'm like, we can handle the social media, but we have to handle the back office. So now we've transitioned to customer relationship management. And so we do the CRM piece with the branding piece. And so that's what I do. I help female entrepreneurs find clarity. I help the professional be professional.
Awesome. Yes, I love it.
Thank you.
So tell me, as an entrepreneur, how did you navigate through the whole COVID-19 season?
Yeah, so how did I? And to be honest, Lucrease, I don't have a cute answer. What I did was I needed rest. It was just so much going on so fast. I'm a person, I like structure, I like organization. And so everything was changing and everything was so loud. There were so many voices saying, do this, do that, buy this, don't buy that.
Right.
And so for me to keep my sanity, I have to be still. I have to be still and pay attention to what's going on. I like to watch people. I think that's the marketer in me. Right. Watching people, their buying behavior, and things like that. So I needed rest. I didn't know how much rest I needed until everything slowed down.
Wow.
So it was a perfect time for me to just get more clarity. I was able to flush out my rebranding, get my ideas together. So that's how COVID helped me. I know some people got into action, but as for Tiffany, she needed to slow down.
Right. It was like a rest period, a reset.
Yes, right. Absolutely.
And what was the biggest lesson you learned in that time of rest?
The biggest lesson I learned is to always be prepared. I always quote one of my life's influencers. He does not have thousands of followers. He does not have hundreds of likes. But he's a wise man, and his name is Derek Triplett. And a few years ago, he said something so profound, and I almost quote it, I think, weekly, because it just sticks to me like that. And Derek Triplett says, prepare while you have the time, because when the time comes, you won't have time to prepare.
And
he used to, yeah, isn't it? It's so deep. He used to always say it, prepare while you have the time, because when the time comes, you won't have time to prepare.
It's so true.
And I think the older I get, my grandma used to always say that. And COVID taught me so many lessons, like financial lessons. Have your money stashed away so that when you need necessities or when there's an emergency, you have liquid cash, not credit cards, but you have liquid cash that, you know, belongs to you that you can use.
Right.
So your business needs a savings account. That's so important. We saw so many businesses close. And I was like, well, Lord, were the businesses living paycheck to paycheck too?
I asked myself that too. That's oh goodness.
I'm like, oh, maybe they just didn't want to, you know, take the loss. Right. So I learned to be prepared, be financially prepared. My mother, she buys things like, you know, in bulks. She loves going to Costco and Sam's. And I always say, Mom, you don't need all this toilet paper. You don't need all this dish detergent. I mean, she buys things by the bulk, even rice. I think you and I can connect with the rice and the beans.
Oh, yeah.
She buys everything in large portions. And I would say, Ma, your garage looks like a, you know, a shopping mall. But she always prepared herself with necessities. So I think that was my largest lesson in COVID. Have what you need. Yeah. Don't wait for people to go tell you to buy it, right? Because when everybody runs to go buy one thing at the same time, that increases the demand of the product, so the price is going to go up. Right. But when you are prepared, you don't have to hustle and bustle. You don't have to stress. You can remain calm. You have access to what you need. So that was my biggest lesson in COVID. Be prepared.
Yes, yes. Oh, awesome, awesome. And so let's get into the, you know, your expertise. Let's talk about work-life balance. Is it possible or is it a myth?
Listen, it's possible. And I'm going to tell you, because I used to be one of them people, I sleep when I die. Hashtag team no sleep. That used to be me, girl. That used to be me. Oh. But I think for that season of life, I needed that momentum. That's what I had to tell myself to keep going. But honey, when them birthdays keep coming by, your body tell you something different.
Exactly.
So I learned work-life balance because I think that comes with wisdom. My Sunday school teacher, bless her heart, Miss Edith Palmer, she's not with us anymore here on earth, but she would say, Tiffany, the Lord made day for you to be up and he made night for you to sleep.
That's true.
And you know, and I went years not listening to her, but it's funny how when you mature in age, you remember all the sayings that, you know, your elders used to tell you. So I created work-life balance by creating systems for myself, systems and boundaries. Yes. That's what protects me. You know, that's what protects me. And Lucrease, it was not an easy transition, and it's still not. Because when you have systems and when you have boundaries, it protects you, but it also teaches people how to respect you.
Right.
You know, so I'm not going to be answering my phone 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock in the morning if you're not a client or a colleague. Exactly. We have nothing to talk about at 6 o'clock in the morning. At 6 a.m., I'm talking to the Lord Jesus or listening to him.
That's right.
You know, I'm not answering your emails on the weekend or on holidays. If you want to talk with me, you have to schedule a consultation. I can't drop what I'm doing to answer your questions right now. I cannot. Right. And as a creative, I need my energy because there's a lot of mental energy that goes into what we do, right? Right. So I created work-life balance by creating systems and boundaries. And I also realized that the letters N-O won't send nobody to their grave. It's all right to say no. Right. It's all right to say no. And what happens is we're uncomfortable setting boundaries because nobody really has them. Right. So when you set your boundaries and people are like, oh my gosh, okay. They don't realize it at first, but they will later on respect you for it because it shows that this is a professional. This is a person that has a wholesome, well-rounded life. What good does it do me for the Lord to touch me in the morning and me just hustle and bustle?
That's
I'm
right.
not going to work myself to an early grave.
That's right.
So I had to create work-life balance so that I can pause and enjoy life. There's no reason that I'm going 2 and 3 months without seeing my friends because
Hmm.
I'm working.
Right. And that's one of the things I learned from you, because I noticed that, like, you did set those boundaries, but you still was living your life, and and you have time for your mom, your family, and your little
Mm-hmm.
doggy Ace. So
Ace up has his time.
right. And so yeah, yeah, having balance is a big thing to me, because I never understood it. Like you said, you hustle and bustle and do all this stuff, and then you don't have time for anything else.
Right. Right. You're tired for no reason. And
Right.
then what happens? Listen, I used to be so tired, I would look in the mirror and be like, girl, if you don't go comb your hair.
Mm-hmm.
And, who wants to work with a person that's just tired and wore out, as my grandma would say, wore out?
Right.
You don't even look like a leader that people want to work with. You
Mm-hmm.
don't look like a business owner that people want to pay.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
That's
If
true.
if you have high ticketed items, you want somebody to pay you $2,000 for your service, but you right here looking like $20. We have to find a medium.
I like
You know, it's the truth.
Oh, yep.
Would you want to buy a house from a realtor who didn't look professional, who
Right.
didn't look refreshed?
Right.
Would you want a leader who was dragging his or her feet, didn't
Mm-mm.
have the energy, don't even speak when they walk past you, don't smell good when they see you,
Hmm.
always tired? We don't work efficiently
Hmm.
when we're just, flat.
Right.
So I had to create balance, and I needed clarity,
Mm-hmm.
because you'll be chasing a moving target until you get that balance in life.
Right. Right. So, in addition to the work-life balance, why do you think it's important for entrepreneurs to have systems in their business?
It's important for entrepreneurs to have systems in their business if they want to consider themselves a business.
Mm-hmm.
My mother used to make hair ribbons for my cheerleading team when I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
She did it for fun. You know, she didn't do it for profit. She did it because she enjoyed doing it.
Right.
But when we're in business to help people, to serve people, and to make money. The money does not come unless you have a system.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to establish the mindset of being a company and not just a business ran by one person.
Right.
So many times when female entrepreneurs start a business, they're trying to get the bills paid. And I get it. When you start, there's a lot of startup costs. So you want the invoices to come in.
Right.
But we don't think long term.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't think in the mindset of serving people.
Exactly.
And what does it look like to serve people? Well, think of yourself as a consumer.
Hmm.
There are some stores that you love to go to. There are some drive-throughs that you love to frequent because you know that when you go to that certain drive-through, your order will be correct. You don't even have to check the bag. Your food gonna be fresh.
Hmm.
You even pay more money to patronize that place because you know the service is up to par.
That's right.
Well, guess
Chick-fil-A.
what? And you know who I'm talking about. I need to have to name the place. You feel me?
Okay.
Who checked their bag at Chick-fil-A? In fact, there was one girl last year, and her tweet went viral because she said Chick-fil-A messed up my order, and everybody was like, "Oh, you lying? You a hater?" People were telling her that she was wrong about her order, But Chick-fil-A has systems and logistics.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you take care of people? You don't just come up with that.
Exactly.
You have to have a strategic plan of, if someone calls me at 10 o'clock at night and I'm asleep, or I'm out with my husband, or traveling with my children, you have a system in place that can still service that person at 10 o'clock at night to get on the phone with you,
Right.
to see your services.
Right.
So it gives you more freedom, and that's what we need in our businesses: freedom and flexibility, so that we can scale and go to the next level.
Yes, I love that. And in your opinion, what do you think is the definition of business success?
Business success is whatever you define it to be. Now, you have to have goals,
Mm.
right? You have to have goals. And I think it's very important to know what business success looks like for each individual person so that you can visualize what that means for you, so that you don't get on social media comparing yourself and feeling bad when you don't look like or do what someone else is doing.
Right.
But I think the basis and the basics for all of us will be profitability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all want to make money. Flexibility. We all want different options, right? And time. I think we all want more money. Profitability. We all want to be able to make our own decisions. Flexibility. And we all want more time. When you start a business, you don't want to be the one running the business. You want to be able to have an intern, an employee to run the business while you can go start another one or just take a few months off and invest your money in something else. So I think that you mark your business success by how much you're making in profit, because a lot of six-figure businesses, right? I think that's like a trend right now on social media. I'm not sure why. But you can make six figures, but how much are you keeping? How much are you recycling?
Right.
How many times have you used that money over? How many times have you used that money to start something else, right? Is that money working for you?
Right.
And can you take a day off? Can you take 6 months off and not touch your business? That's success.
Yeah.
You know, like to me, that is what business success is. I mean, I would tell anybody, if you start a business, you have to have those three basic things, you know, or just don't have a business and just stick with 9 to 5 only.
Yep, you're right. And so in this episode, I wanted to like dig deeper in how having systems in place help create your whole brand experience. Because, you know, I do branding, but people think, you know, the branding is just a visual part. But sometimes they tend to forget that the whole experience, like including your customer service, including how you serve, is part of your brand as well. So kind of give us, you know, elaborate on that a little bit, on how having systems help create that whole brand experience.
Right. So, and that's exactly what it is. It's an experience. So at Clear Resource Marketing, we believe in rolling out the red carpet.
Right.
And your brand is really, we all know, what are people saying about you when you're not in the room? That's a brand experience.
Right.
And you're right, Lucrease, we get caught up into the logo. I don't know why, but it's almost as if we feel like we have arrived once the logo is created.
Exactly.
And then you'll see people, they'll post their logo on Facebook and that's it. There is no, the business isn't even registered. So you may not even know if you have any ownership to that name, or is the name available, right? But people post their logo and they're excited because they've, you know, their first photo where they have 300 likes, and then what? You know, and then what? Or, oh, let me get some cute Instagram templates. And so why do we do that? We do that because that's the easy stuff to conquer. You know, it's easy to say, oh, let me tag a graphic designer. Right? So that's the easy stuff that we can touch first. But we don't think about what I would call the back office. So what is your system? So what should your system look like? So you have to have at least 4 portals. You know, at Clear Resource Marketing, we have a workflow chart, and it shows you the 3 phases of your workflow in your systems. And so you have 2 different things. You have cold leads, LEADS, and you have hot leads. Cold leads are people who don't even know you. Right. So they may land on your Instagram page, your website, your landing page for the first time. You don't know them, they're cold. Hot is when they have made connection with you by way of your social media platforms, your inbox, whatever it may be, phone conversation, they become hot. So you have to funnel all your leads into your system and first understand where these people are coming from. Where are your leads coming from? Your website, your social media, are they walking past your establishment and they saw your advertisements? And then you have to funnel all those different channels into one place. All your leads need to come through one place. So you should have an online booking platform. So you have a page where these persons can give you their information. So you need to have a landing page in place or have a booking form in place. That's what we have. We have a booking form. So if you want to chat with anyone at Clear Resource, here's the website. And you click and schedule a time to talk to us. But in order to talk to us, there has to be an exchange of information.
Exactly.
Right? Name, email, phone number. And then we get you on the call. Well, once you book your call, once the person selects their call, they select the time, but we pre-select in a way. So when they go to our calendar, they're choosing based on our availability.
Exactly.
And that's one important thing about systems. You are in control of your company, your business, not the other way around, because clients will try to run you. They'll try to run you, not intentionally, but hey, can we talk now? Are you available tomorrow at 9? You don't have time to go back and forth with people. Here's my availability. Choose a time that works best for you. And that's a great way to say it. Although it's the time that is best for the business owner. Right. You tell the client, select the best time that works for you. That's a part of service.
Exactly.
And so once they book their consultation, what we call it a clarity call, they will receive an instant automated, keyword automated, email that says your time has been requested. We will send you confirmation, but in the meantime, please complete this questionnaire for us.
Right.
And that questionnaire gives us basic information of what that person is interested in. And Lucrece, sometimes they don't know, but it still helps us. And it also establishes what you as the business owner do and what you don't do.
Right.
And that's so important in your systems, because sometimes you can be great or good at doing something and people want you to do that. But if that's not your specialty, don't do it.
Exactly.
So let me give you an example. Okay.
Go ahead.
With my social media background, I used to be okay with the graphics.
Right.
But I'm not a graphic designer. So when people want me to do graphics, I like how you do your graphics. I'm like, sis, I know how to do mine, but I don't necessarily know how to do yours because I'm not versatile with that skill.
Right.
Does it make sense? And then people get their graphics like, well, it doesn't look like yours. I told you. So you have to be clear in what you do and what you don't do. Even if you're good at doing something for yourself, if it's not your service and you don't have a price attached to it, refer that person out.
Right.
Connect with another person. And so this is why you have systems, again, because you need these boundaries in order to have flexibility.
Right. Excellent. Excellent. So what other advice would you give entrepreneurs out there?
Always always embrace innovation.
I like that.
Embrace innovation and be okay being alone. As an entrepreneur, there are many times where you will feel alone in your thoughts, alone in your actions, because by way of being an entrepreneur, you are a visionary. So you are years ahead of the average person.
Right.
And you have to be okay at times being by yourself, because you need that quiet time to think. I use that quiet time to think, to meditate, pray, update my prayer journal, and just like, okay, God, talk to me.
Right.
And that's why you can't be busy with other people's business. You know what I'm saying? That's why you cannot pick up every phone call. That's why you don't have to feel obligated to reply to every text message right away. Some people and some things can wait, because let me tell you, If somebody needs something done bad enough, they'll find somebody else.
That's true.
And I'm talking about non-business related stuff. Just, just the extra noise that we sometimes subscribe ourselves to. As an entrepreneur, you have to be innovative and be okay when you need time away from people to think, because those are the people. Well, who was it? Steve Jobs that said, those who believe that they're crazy enough to change the world are those who actually do it.
Yep.
I mean, some people might agree with me, but you can't tell me that Apple didn't change the game of technology and how we use our cell phones and how we stream our music.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did.
It's those people who steal away and they come up with some cutting edge idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to be different and to need time by yourselves. Most leaders, most people that you see at the top, they don't have a large crowd around them.
They don't. Mm-hmm.
You don't see it. You have to distance yourself. And you're not being rude. You just need that time because you have to stay ahead.
Right.
You have to stay ahead. If not, you'll fall behind and you'll be with everybody else. And not that everybody else is wrong. You're not better. You're just different. And that's my advice. You have to be innovative. Yes. You have to stay ahead. Look, Chris, when I first started doing social media, my grandma, girl, what is you doing on that phone? You always on that phone. Now, mind you, she was 85, 90. She didn't grow up on no cell phone. There are so many people. When I started managing social media, it was not a title. It was not a job title. Most people were just marketers.
Right.
If I would have listened to those people and turned away from social media and learning how to market without even having a marketing degree, I would be behind now, because look at the whole world. Who would have thought people would have been teaching online? Kids would have been learning online.
Right.
Back in the day, or not back in the day, a year ago, working remotely or working from home was a luxury. Like, oh, you work from home, you must have a good job.
Right.
But now that's some people's only option. So if I would have listened to those people and turned away my cell phone and closed my laptop and not learned how to monetize social media, I would be feeling like a fool right now. But I saw in the future.
Right. And that's very important for entrepreneurs to see in the future.
Yes.
Because, see, I always use this example. Like if it was like Blockbuster, they didn't see in the future. And that's why they're not here anymore. So yeah, I agree totally 100% with you. Awesome. Right. So tell our listeners how they can connect with you.
Oh, we are on all platforms as Clear Resource. Follow us on Instagram at Clear Resource, on Facebook, Clear Resource Marketing, and on the web, clearresourcemarketing.com. And allow me to add that we are the proud sponsors of the One Culture podcast.
Oh, yes. I love that.
Yeah. Thank you. So we're pulling up to the table to have the tough conversations. Yes. And that podcast actually was created during the pandemic because we were just furious. And we wanted to talk about things as colored women. And we were like, well, we can't talk about these conversations because they're touchy issues.
Right.
But we were like, you know what? Let's do it. Right. And so Clear Resource is a sponsor of the One Culture podcast. You can stream it on Google Podcasts, Apple, and Spotify.
Awesome. So make sure, get connected with Tiffany at all those platforms and get connected with One Culture podcast and listen to those great episodes. And yeah, and just make it happen in your world and get your systems together. Make sure you contact her, get your systems together, because she got me all together.
We help each other.
Yes. No, trust me. The whole systems made my life easier. So I'm so grateful. So thank you so much for coming on our podcast today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. And hopefully this won't be the last time, in Jesus' name. So
Amen. Amen.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Our destiny nugget for today is consistency. One of the greatest examples of this trait is Daniel in the Bible. Daniel was a successful man in every area of his life because of consistency. He had a consistent prayer life, consistent systems where he worked in the palace, and consistent in his health and relationships and friendships. Read Daniel 6, verse 10 to learn and apply this principle in your business and life today. Stay connected with us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for upcoming episodes and videos. Also, if you need help starting your brand and you're stuck and don't know what to do, download our free Bring Your Brand to Life checklist, and you'll find the link in the description. Until the next time, World Changer, enjoy your month.